So, you're thinking about moving to Michigan, and you keep hearing about two cities, Grand Rapids, Lansing, Grand Rapids, Lansing, Grand Rapids, Lansing. Get the picture here? Well, in this video, I'm gonna talk about which city is better. What are the pros, what are the cons of living in each of these cities? And be sure to stay tuned until the end because I will tell you a couple good cities that are a happy medium between Lansing and Grand Rapids, so some places that you should maybe consider. So we're gonna get started with this next episode of Lansing, Michigan Life right now. Good day, everybody. Troy Seifert here with the Capital Area Real Estate Specialist in the greater Lansing, Michigan area. I'm a real estate agent in the area, and I get phone calls all the time from people who are watching this channel, people who are just like you, looking to potentially relocate to the greater Lansing area, or maybe even looking to move to Grand Rapids, like we're gonna be talking about here. If that's you, and you're looking to move here maybe in 9 days, 90 days, 9 months from now, I would love to be able to talk with you. So all my information is in the description below. Call me, text me, email me, or schedule a Zoom call with me. And I would love to be able to speak with you about your real estate goals. Also, if you haven't already, and this is your first time watching the channel, or your 50th, or even your 100th time watching the channel, and you haven't done so, I would greatly appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, or ring the bell, ding, 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 for notifications so that you can be the first to be notified when a brand new episode of Lansing, Michigan Life goes live. And we have new episodes going live once or twice a week. So you're definitely gonna wanna do that here before you get off this episode. Grand Rapids versus Lansing. I've done video over different parts of Lansing, right? Like the west side of Lansing versus the east side. And I've done, Hazlet versus Okemos. That was another video I did. This is the first one I've done where I've tried to compare two major cities in Michigan. And you could be hearing all sorts of things about Grand Rapids or about Lansing. Maybe you're okay with being about 40 minutes from work or 30 minutes from work. You just want to live in a great location. Grand Rapids and Lansing, both are great locations. So here's what you need to know about Lansing. The greater Lansing area has 500,000 people in it. Not a bad sized city, but Grand Rapids has 1.2 million people in it. 1.2 million. So a little bit more than double. And Grand Rapids, that's the greater Grand Rapids area. So that's not just the downtown city of Grand Rapids. That's kind of the same way with the greater Lansing area, right? We have different suburbs of Lansing. Grand Rapids has the exact same thing. So there are gonna be some things with it being more populated, some things that are gonna be better about Grand Rapids, and some things that maybe some people wouldn't like as well about Grand Rapids. I'm first of all gonna get into why Grand Rapids is better, okay? So we're gonna start with why is Grand Rapids better than Lansing, okay? So the first reason why Grand Rapids is better than Lansing is because, and this is kind of an obvious one, and you could put like little subcategories with this first one, but I'm doing a big picture thing here, okay? There's more things around for shopping, dining, and entertainment. They got a lot of stuff in Grand Rapids, okay? A lot more than Lansing does. There's a lot more malls, a lot more indoor malls, more successful malls. My wife and I, we love going to Grand Rapids, which is about an hour away. We love going to the melting pot. They have a melting pot there. I love having fondue. We go there every Valentine's Day, okay? Grand Rapids has some great things. Lansing doesn't have melting pot, but for those of us in Lansing, it's kind of nice to go away to like a weekend trip place that we could go there for the weekend. That's what I'm okay with Grand Rapids. So again, a lot more things around for shopping, dining, and entertainment. That's the first pro. So number two reason why Grand Rapids is better, and a lot of people will tell you this isn't even close to Lansing's downtown, okay? But Grand Rapids has a much better downtown than Lansing does, and I would have to agree. Every single year they have Restaurant Week in Grand Rapids. There's a lot of foodies that are in Grand Rapids, but a lot of those restaurants are in the downtown area. And also in the downtown area, they have Van Andel Arena that has lots of concerts. They have sports games there as well. I've been to concerts in in Van Andel. Nate Bargatze I just recently saw there. They had great Christmas concerts with Trans-Siberian. They have Pentatonics there. They will have bigger concerts at Van Andel Arena in Grand Rapids, that's for sure. And so a lot of the restaurants there do really well because you have just a lot of events there. You have the DeVos Center that's within there as well. And it's just a very, very, very pretty downtown as well. It's right by, a river as well. And so just lots of things to do in the downtown compared to Lansing. Lansing, it's an okay downtown, but nowhere near as great as Grand Rapids. So number 3 reason why Grand Rapids is better than Lansing, they're close to Lake Michigan. So you have amazing summers by the lake. Okay, so on the west side of town, you have Lake Michigan. There's all these little lake beach towns over there, Grand Haven, South Haven. What's also close there is Michigan's Adventure, one of the only amusement parks within the state of Michigan. So you have the lake, and it's awesome to have that during the summer. It's a great thing to be able to have. So you have it right there within 10, 15, maybe even 20 minutes. You can always go to the lake, and you have sand dunes. You just have other parks that you can have with the lakes. So that's another great feature of Grand Rapids. So the number 4 reason why Grand Rapids is better is that it has one of the hottest real estate markets in the country. I want to say a few years ago, I saw surveys that Grand Rapids was like the number 2 most popular real estate market in the country. So there was a time where Grand Rapids, they were up there with a lot of the areas where prices were skyrocketing, where there was just a lot of traffic. So if you're going to look to move to Grand Rapids, you're going to be in a very hot real estate market, which is going to help you if you maybe have a short-term plan of living there, maybe for a few years. Your prices will appreciate faster there more than likely. So something for you to consider there. Number 5 reason why Grand Rapids is better is that this kind of goes with number 1, so it's a little bit of a subset, but I kind of place it separately because I kind of find these things a little bit separate from number 1. So number 5 is that the Grand Rapids has better museums and venues, especially for the art scene. Like if you're an artist, they have an art museum that's there. They have a zoo that is called the John Ball Zoo, which is way more superior than Potter Park Zoo. I'm sorry Potter Park Zoo, but I've talked about in some of my other videos, it's an okay zoo, but John Ball Zoo is definitely a better zoo. So the museums that they have, the venues, they just have a lot more to offer for that compared to Lansing, okay? The only place that I would say in Lansing that would come close would be like the Michigan History Museum, just because there's a lot of floors and it's a very large museum. But other than that, a lot of the stuff that they have over in Grand Rapids, you have a lot more options there, okay? So that's enough for why Grand Rapids is better. Let's get into why Lansing is better. Maybe you're already convinced to move to Grand Rapids and you're like, Troy convinced me. Troy, you can't say anything. You can't say anything to make Lansing better. Well, be sure to listen to all 5 of these things, because I think these are some pretty good reasons why Lansing's better. First reason is that the average price of a home is far less than in Grand Rapids. So if you want to get a cheaper home, live in Lansing, greater Lansing area, don't live in Grand Rapids. So I want to give you some stats. The average price in the greater Lansing area right now for a home is at $225,000 to $230,000. Okay, and that is in a 500,000 person radius, like the whole greater Lansing area. So the average price in Kent County, which is the same number of people, it's around 500,000 people that live in there, and that includes Grand Rapids City, the proper Grand Rapids City, that would have the good downtown, all of that. So the average price in Kent County is $375,000. Yeah, so if you're gonna buy a house that's close to Grand Rapids, that's 150 grand more. It's gonna be a lot more. So prices are less in the greater Lansing area. Number 2 reason why Lansing is better is that we're a college town. So we have a lot more sports opportunities. I mean, we do have minor league baseball. We do have other sports outside of college, but because we're a Big Ten school with Michigan State University, I mean, I just this year went to a basketball game at Michigan State. There's like 11, 12,000 people that are there. You have an ice hockey arena, so you can have ice hockey within the area. There's a lot of options that you can have, and you have the pride of a college town. Grand Rapids doesn't have a major university like Michigan State, nowhere near the amount of students as what Michigan State has. They do have universities, they just don't have something as large as Michigan State. Okay, number 3 reason, and I think a lot of you are going to like this, and this is a very good reason, okay? Number 3 reason why Lansing is better is they don't have as much snow. There I said, they don't have as much snow. People hate hearing that word. So in the greater Lansing area, the average snowfall per year is 50 inches. In Grand Rapids, because it's closer to Lake Michigan, you get the lake effect snow. Little science lesson here for you. It's 70 inches. So another, on average, 20 inches more. You're gonna get more of that white stuff. You're gonna have to shovel more of it over there in Grand Rapids. You're not gonna be able to get away from it. So, sorry, more snow in Grand Rapids. That's why Lansing's better, less snow. Number 4, why Lansing is better. It's central to a lot of popular options in the state. It's central, and I find this a really good pro. So the good old Michigan map with the hand, we're right here in the center. Grand Rapids is over here. So if I want to go to Detroit, which is over this way, it's like about an hour and 20 minutes. If I want to go to Detroit and see like the Pistons or the Tigers and see a professional sports game, I mean, Grand Rapids is another hour west from Lansing. So I'm gonna have to travel 2.5 hours to try to get there. Also being central here, you're close to Frankenmuth, which, do you love it how I use this map here? So Frankenmuth would be a little bit this way and a little bit north. It's about an hour and 10 minutes away. So you can go to the world's largest Christmas store and be there extremely close. You can also go to the northern part of Indiana. It's right there, it's not that far away. So all to say, you have lots of options for even airports if you wanna be able to fly somewhere. Grand Rapids has a great airport, the Gerald Ford Airport. I've flown out of it, but the only other airport you would necessarily have would be Chicago, so they are a little bit closer to Chicago over there, but a lot of people will just use Grand Rapids. So to go to Detroit, you would have to travel 2.5 hours to get to that airport. But being in Lansing, I can go to Grand Rapids, which is an hour away. I can go to Detroit, which is an hour and 20 minutes away. I have Flint, which is, you know, a decent airport as well. That's about 45 minutes away. I have a lot of options for air travel, for weekend getaways, even like for going up north. You're over to the west here, and it might be around the same amount of time to like Traverse City might be a little closer because it's right up there. But if I wanted to go to Mackinac Island, I think that would be a little closer from Lansing because you're a little bit further east. So being central in the state, I think, is a huge pro for Lansing, okay? Last thing for why Lansing is better. Why is Lansing better? So if you like a smaller town feel and you want less traffic, then Lansing's gonna be for you. So, because by far, there's less traffic in Lansing than there is in Grand Rapids. So if you want less traffic, you want that smaller town feel, Lansing's for you. If you like the big city vibe and you really, want to be close to everything, have some things within walking distance, take public transportation, Grand Rapids might be the place for you, okay? Both of them have their pros and cons, you just have to weigh that out. Now, like I promised you in the beginning of the video, I was going to give you just some cities that you could look at if you maybe wanted to be in between the two. Maybe you could visit both, right? So there are 2 cities that I do mention to people, and I did mention them to somebody recently. One of the cities that's about, I would say it's a little closer to Lansing than it would be to Grand Rapids, but it's like 40 minutes, like 30 to 40 minutes to Grand Rapids and about 20 to 25 minutes to Lansing, is a city called Portland. Portland I haven't really featured here all the time, but it's a city that has a river in it. It's a small town feel, not a ton that's there, but if you want to be close to both, that could be a good option. Some definite affordable housing that's there as well. The other place that you could look into would be a city called Ionia. Now Ionia is, I gotta take my handy dandy map, right? So here's Lansing, and then you go a little bit west, and then you go a little bit north. Ionia's right there. So Ionia would take you about 40 minutes to get into Lansing, but it would take you about 30, 35 minutes, a little bit closer to get to Grand Rapids. And Ionia has some cheaper housing. They, again, aren't the largest town. They have like an Applebee's in there. They have an Aldi. They have a fair that they have throughout the entire year. Like, I mean, that's a cool option that you could have to be able to live if you didn't want to live right in Grand Rapids, but be close to it, but not pay the high prices, or maybe have two options of where you could go, right? So all to say, like, those are two cities that I would recommend to a lot of people. I mean, there are other smaller cities throughout, but a lot of them are gonna be, in my opinion, they're gonna be a lot closer to Grand Rapids, just from my observation. So again, hopefully this video was helpful to you, beneficial to you. I'm here to help however you would like me to. So if you're looking to move here in 9 days, 90 days, 9 months from now, contact me in the description below. It's all there. Call me, text me, email me, or schedule a Zoom. And also, if you haven't already done so, please like, subscribe, or ring the bell for notifications so that you can be the first to be notified when a brand new episode of Lansing, Michigan Life goes live. Again, I'm Troy Seifert. I'm so glad that you watched this video, and until next time, make it a great day.